How's it going? So I do apologize. I was just trying to. I did a little. I just started streaming, but apparently we weren't connected to Rumble, and it was very important for me that we also go live on Rumble. So, guys, as I was saying earlier, yesterday we tried to go live with this exact topic. So the Incel project and Transmaxxing, right? And to me, it's like, of course, nothing is ever working when you need it to.
BUMBACLOT! BUMBACLOT!
Well, clearly.
BUMBACLOT!
Why is nothing ever working, guys? What the fuck? I'm trying to use my Stream Deck for the sound effects, but clearly the sound effects failed big time. So, like I was just saying, we were live yesterday. We tried to go live yesterday with this exact topic. Clearly, it did not work, and it didn't work for some reason. I had some connection issues. My OBS wouldn't start. Let's try this again.
Stop it.
Why is my Stream Deck not playing the sounds? Holy fucking shit.
BUMBACLOT!
Did I do something?
BUMBACLOT!
Headset?
BUMBACLOT!
Yo, this is insane. I have no idea what the fuck is going on.
Bruh.
Clearly working yesterday, but apparently it isn't today. So, anyway, I guess we're just gonna have to deal without it. One thing I do need to test since we're... since we're having issues after issues, one thing I'm going to check is if we actually have sound. So if whatever content we fucking view, we're gonna end up actually... You guys can hear, right? So apparently we're not live on Rumble either, which is just brilliant. Twitch doesn't work, so that's another thing. So holy fucking shit, I just want to know what the fuck is going on. Yeah, Rumble doesn't even show that we're live. Fan-fucking-tastic. I guess we'll just deal with it, and we're gonna have to do whatever. Kick, are we live on Kick? At least, is Kick working? Or do we have another... Are we just gonna have another bunch of, like, issues today? Have another bunch of, like, issues today? Have another bunch of, like, issues. I'm just restarting my headset because clearly something has gone fucking wrong somewhere. YouTube, let me just hear if... Can I hear anything? Anything?
Skewed. We don't know. Remember when Kellogg's bought the research in the 80s and said everyone got to eat cereal and
apparently not. Apparently you guys can't hear it either.
Fats.
So that is just a video. I can't hear it. Which is fan-fucking-tastic. Yo guys, we'll get there. We'll get there. When this works. Maybe, perhaps, it's just the fault of... Not enough USB controller results. PC, why are you so shit?
Yep. And then
Well, fan-fucking-tastic. So, that is not the right one. It needs to be connected, or is it?
obesity sky.
There we go. So, we've got sound.
BUMBACLOT!
Finally.
BUMBACLOT!
Fuck this. Guys, this is a disaster. Anyway, going back to the whole fucking thing from the beginning. We've got to restart because I'm not re-streaming again just to have a perfect stream. Deal with it. Guys, yesterday we tried to go live internet wasn't working or something. Well, it was working. It's just OBS wouldn't connect. So for some reason, we could not have a live stream how we wanted to. So we ended up doing. I ended up going on Omegle for the first time ever. For the first time in my life, I went on Omegle, and I ended up chatting to this guy. I found this random guy, and he was a Nazi, right? So you can imagine where that was going. So we ended up actually chatting, like, so he claimed to be a Nazi, though his views were not, I don't know, you wouldn't really say they were Nazi-like, and I've got the video. I will release the video as well, I think. I think it would be a great video to watch. It was a great debate. We spoke for an hour, right? So imagine for someone, I don't think I'm a Nazi. I personally wouldn't say I'm a Nazi. Holy fuck. But yo, so me and this guy, we ended up chatting on the JQ for a while, if you know what I'm saying. And not many people talk about the JQ community. If you guys don't know what I'm on about, you will watch the video. You'll see why people don't talk about this shit. But yeah, holy shit, what a debate it was. I will definitely release it. And another thing is, right, so I wanted to talk about this new thing that I've discovered, which is Transmaxxing. And it's all like about this Incel project, and it's a podcast, right? So I just wanted to listen to this podcast. We wanted to go over what the podcast is about, and yeah. But okay, so check out this tweet that I found, and this is how this whole idea for this video originated. In fact, and also before we get into this whole thing, right, guys? So yes, so I've not done a live stream in like 4 days now, 4 or 5 days. And before you start calling me lazy, right? I was busy with my businesses and all that shit. I didn't want to like go live stream every single day. I was like, yeah, I need to live stream today. I need to go live, and whatever. I was just unable to do so. So let's see. So this guy I follow on Twitter randomly retweeted this. I, for one, was an incel before and convinced by whoever Transmaxxing headquarters, the official Transmaxxing Twitter ran by moderators of the Transmaxxing Discord community. It's only got 20 followers, right? So this person, 33 followers. I am a YouTuber and a Transmaxxer. Check out my channel if you are into Transmaxxing. So I, for one, was an incel before and convinced by Transmaxxing headquarters to transition. So this person got convinced to transition, by the way. So this isn't like no dysmorphia, no nothing, just personal gain. So you can see how crazy this gets. So anyway, let's check out this person's Twitter, right? Because I want to know where the YouTube takes us. So this was them. This is this person before transitioning to this. Tina's Guide to Transmaxxing. From incel woman to in 2 years and counting. Holy fuck. So I was like, straight up. So this is the Transmaxxing issue. I want to check out the YouTube channel and see where the fuck it takes us. Because, like, let's do some digging.
Hi, guys.
526 subscribers. Yo, I have 9 subscribers. Shout out to all of you guys, by the way, on my YouTube subscribers, and shout out to everyone who's leaving comments, by the way, because that shit to me is insane. By the way, with the amount of support y'all giving me, it's insane. So yeah. Anyway, so hi guys, I am Tina, and I mostly make videos about Transmaxxing. You will also find other transition-related content on here, like for example, my journey series. That is all for now, but we will see what the future brings. Milestones. Started making videos on the 1st of the 11th of the 23rd. Oh, American, right? So on the 11th of January, 2023. 100 subscribers. Okay, cool. So this person is just doing milestones. Yo, cringe. Discord, Patreon, buy me a coffee. Stats 44k views. So clearly this is a niche. This is something. These people, holy fuck. Anyway, let's go onto the video. Is Brian Coburg an incel? An incel's perspective. So you still clash yourself an incel? Black market HRT. So this, an Incel's guide to how to fake gender this. Holy fuck. Wait. How to fake it? Why are you faking this shit? Yo, Incel versus TFI. Right, where do I start? Because this is insane, by the way. So I'm just trying to figure out where the fuck this is going. Transmaxxing for incels. It is worth it. Yo, to say the thumbnails are garbage. Why is this person's getting plenty of views, right? And imagine if this dude was a dude making videos, he would never get far. So I suppose that wait, let's see. What is transmaxing? So transmaxing is when a man changes his gender to woman in order to enjoy a share of female privileges, such as earlier retirement, cheaper car insurance, gets far. Okay, transmaxing, also known as transmaxing, is the act of transitioning to another gender in the hope that it might help you escape inceldom. So you think that you're not getting laid, and if you change your gender, it will help you to get laid. Now, what I'm curious about is this the surgical procedure? What is this? I'm really curious with how far does it get? Is it because like this person has clearly mentioned faking, right? So I'm just interested in how fake, how much can you fake this, right? Is what I'm thinking. Hey, yo, shout out to everyone, by the way. Shout out to everyone on Rumble. Shout out to everyone on YouTube watching. What's up, guys? I don't think I'm gonna be streaming on Twitch anymore because this is it's just Twitch is just stupid, right? So we're not getting there. But yeah, okay. So going back to this person's channel, where are we? Because I need to find a video. Where the fuck does this all come from? A solution to incel problem that does not involve women or mass murder. Holy fuck. This shit goes deep. It goes deep. Transmaxxing. Interview with someone. What transmaxxing really is, an insider's perspective. So this is a 5-minute video. So I think it will be painful to watch. Happy first month to me. So, yo, this is clearly incels versus trannies. Holy shit. This channel goes hard. What the fuck? Yo, what the fuck?
Transmaxxing has been getting a lot of media attention recently. Today, I just want to explain what transmaxxing is from an insider's perspective.
This has
so
got
that
no
you hopefully
dislikes.
have a better idea of what transmaxxing is really all about by the end of the video. So, what is transmaxxing? Transmaxxing is officially defined by the Transmaxxing Manifesto as transitioning for personal gain. So, what does that even mean?
So you're just transitioning for personal. Yo, by the way, right? I no offense, right? If this dude didn't transition, I understand why he wasn't getting laid, right? I mean, look at the width of this person's shoulders. This guy's tiny. It's tiny. Yo, what the fuck? I'm just trying to check out the comments. This is just what the trans community needed. More reasons to get invalidated. I just hope to finalize my papers until this shit goes horribly wrong. At the time I wrote this comment, I was under the impression that stood by the whole manifesto who was leading it. So it's transmaxxing. Okay, I want to see what this person's really.
Well, let me explain.
What the views
you see, this
really
overly
are
broad definition actually allows for transmaxxing to be the most inclusive trans community there is, because unlike other trans communities, we do not exclude people with autogenophilia or people without gender dysphoria. We are simply there for anyone who wishes to transition for any reason. Well,
I should have tagged them in the in the title tag. Because, like, holy shit.
Technically, we do exclude female to male transitioners, but in recent times that has become more of a...
So they exclude female to male transitioners. So this transmaxxing shit is strictly for dudes who just don't get laid and want to gain something.
Area too.
Right.
In essence, transmaxxing is the trans community for all those who are not accepted into other trans communities. Most trans spaces are really not as inclusive as they seem, if you think about it. Transmaxxing is much more inclusive than it initially seems, in contrast. The fundamental belief behind transmaxing is that women are advantaged in today's society. That is why transmaxing focuses on
one thing I've noticed I've done wrong, guys, is I didn't even put the fucking camera on while we were watching this. So hold on, let me fix this up. We're gonna change this. This is another video that we're gonna get into, but let me just change this to this. I think that's better. Holy shit, yo.
on
I'm
the practical side of transition.
Can you tell? I haven't streamed in 4 days, and like everything in my stream just goes wrong. Anyway,
In order to allow men to unlock the benefits of womanhood.
That's not
a lot
bad.
of evidence for women being in fact better off than men can be found in the Transmaxxing Manifesto. Vintology took great care to build his case upon a mountain of scientific evidence.
Right, let me change this up because clearly we have the wrong thing going on here. Is this the video? Link to the manifesto in description. I just needed to change the tabs.
And studies. To benefit from womanhood, however, one must be seen as a woman not just by oneself, but by a lot of people. Ideally, all of them, really. So for a transmaxer, it doesn't matter what they themselves identify as. All that matters is how society sees them. Transmaxing is transitioning for personal gain, after all, and in order to gain the privileges of womanhood, one must achieve womanhood in the eyes of the ones bestowing the privileges upon one. This mindset results in the transmaxing community being one of the best.
Right. So you need to the transmaxing ideology is literally changing your gender simply because you have to in order to enjoy the benefits. So like you need to achieve womanhood in order to be so for people to realize that you're a woman. Otherwise, you won't be able. So this really goes hard. It break it down really
places,
deeply.
if not the best place on the internet, to get honest passing assessments and tips to improve passing ability. Due to the transmaxers not discriminating
Why is this manifesto a bunch of anime shit? What the
about
fuck?
reason for
Hey, that's why I'm saying. That's why I'm saying this whole ideology bullshit is because people have too much time on their hands. They watch anime and they think they can. It's
the
real
community
life.
is very pro free and openly available hormone replacement therapy drugs. And for those who unfortunately find themselves unable to access official drugs, the community has got a mountain of advice on do-it-yourself hormone replacement therapy and other do-it-yourself measures like do-it-yourself hair removal and do-it-yourself castration.
What's the woman like? What's the laser hair removal thing?
If you're really up for that. For those who
okay, so
who want to game the system instead by faking accepted reasons for transitioning, namely gender dysphoria, the transmaxing community is also the perfect place to be.
And I think most of the times these incels as well, when they go through this transmaxing process, whatever, they identify as a woman, but in reality, they still want to fuck other women. So,
I'm actually putting a video guide together for
so because from the by the definition is they're trying to become a woman in order to gain the benefits and of a woman and escape inceldom, right? So they're hoping to get laid, but they're not hoping to get laid with other men now. They're still hoping to get laid with women. How do you think you're going to be more successful?
It's still going to take some time until it's ready, but you're going to see it here for sure. In contrast to other trans communities, transmaxing gives you the freedom of choice. Because we really believe in the motto, your body, your choice. And that in all regards of life, not just pregnancy. If transmaxing is really all that inclusive and transmaxing is all that great, then why does everyone always talk about incels? And what are incels really to the transmaxing community and in general? Well, incels are first and foremost just the people left out of the dating pool. They existed for as long as humanity existed.
Incels are left out of the dating pool? You mean, is that by choice? I thought the whole point of the incel thing, I thought it was clearly, so it describes someone who cannot get laid, not by choice, but by the whole by the whole fact that
explained in my
nobody
very
wants to
first
mate with
video.
them.
They were just unlucky enough to be born as the most sexually undesirable men. Often those people are too very
There's no such thing. There is, guys. There is no such thing as the most undesirable. Right, you could literally be the ugliest motherfucker ever. So basically you class yourself, like this person clearly classes themselves in the category. They're not undesirable, they're unlucky to be born the way they are. And no, that is untrue. Yes, you're ugly. I agree. I'm gonna admit you're ugly as fuck. But you could still get laid if you, for the past few years, decided to hit the gym and just become something, get some confidence in life, play some sports. Instead, you spend literally majority of your life playing video games or something, and now you can't get laid. That's your choice.
neurodivergent. That is also in large part why everyone hates incels so much. They are really just different, yet in the end they are really just people, and it could have just as easily been you. Some of them have become...
That is the worst argument ever. They are just people. Like, motherfucker, pedos are just people too, if you think about it. You can't... This is the worst argument ever when people say, oh, I'm human too. Motherfucker, it all depends what the fucking quality of the human you are. You make yourself to be...
violent in the past, yes,
Holy shit.
but those are really just a few bad actors and do not represent incels as a whole. I like to compare it to how some...
Who would want to represent incels? You put that tag on someone, like they want to be tagged
Men
as an
rape
incel.
women, and
I just wanna know, is there any incels out there who genuinely want to be incels? Because I'm pretty sure that none of them would choose
yet
to
we
be.
do not universally see men as the
Like the whole definition of an incel is it's involuntarily celibate. So you don't choose to not get laid. You just don't get laid.
of society. Or do we? Incels once were the primary target audience for transmaxing. Meanwhile, this has changed, however, as I already explained. Incels or former incels still make up a significant portion of the transmaxing community, but are by a long shot...
Well, I'm trying to read the stats. Did you at some point identify as incel prior to transition? Can you identify? Why is everyone just identifying as something? Why is does everyone have to identify as something nowadays? This is about identifying with the word incel specifically. So you identify your persona with the word incel. All right. Yes, I laid a transition. So this is 226 votes. Out of the 226 votes, we had 91 votes. No, I never transitioned, born male. Okay, let's see where this goes.
I myself used to be an incel, and transmaxing saved me. So if you are an incel...
Transmaxxing saved you. So you're telling me you get laid now? You're telling me now you get laid?
Looking for a way out that does not empower women and does not involve mass murder, then transmaxing might be the right way for you to go. At least I can't think of any other way that does that for you right now. More on that in another video, however, as this one is primarily meant as just an overview for everyone. And with that, I hope that helped you a bit. If you want to know more, please just stop by and ask questions, either in the comment section of this video, or on the Transmaxxing community subreddit, or on the Transmaxxing community...
Hey, the video editing goes hard on this one, guys.
Discord server. By now we got over 1,200 members there, and all of them are willing to help you out, I'm sure. I'm looking forward to seeing...
Guys, you know what? The only reason I'm watching this is because, like, I also indeed might be looking for some saving. Someone might need to save me. Maybe Transmaxxing will save me.
Transmaxxing has been getting a lot of media.
Oh, so this is the videos. This is the video that we just watched. Let's see. Okay, because now I'm curious. What the fuck does this go? Am I trans? So I don't want to watch some fucking 50-minute video because that's bullshit. Why incels should transmax? Okay, so I'm gonna go over this.
Hi guys, I've been open about being an incel.
Yo, you've changed your voice from like this very feminine thing to
transmaxer for quite some time now.
Shit.
One thing that people again and again, often in anger, tell me is that I'm not trans because I do not have gender dysphoria. From such statements, the question, what makes someone...
Do you have to have gender dysmorphia dysmorphia before you transition? I thought transitioning by definition made you trans. You don't really have to feel like it. If you just do it, then that's it. You're trans
and
now.
what does not arises. I gave my answer to this
Hey, there's also people out there who genuinely think that you can also be trans. You can be born trans. So there's legitimate people out there, and by legitimate is like the bunch of fucking retards that I know in person, by the way. I don't choose to know these people. I just know of them who, for some reason, believe that people are born trans. So you're already born as someone who is going to transition.
question briefly before, but today I want to expand on it and walk you through the thought process that led me to an answer. Contemplating the question for many sleepless nights, I one day realized that there are different overlapping aspects of transness itself. Most medical systems focus exclusively on the mental part of being trans. That mental part ties into the old a man in a woman's body or a woman in a man's body narrative. It simply reframes.
Hey, gotta admit, the quality of this video has improved massively. So clearly this whole Transmaxxing thing is working for them, because the channel's popping, so they're upgrading their equipment.
A trans woman being born with the body of a man but the mind of a woman, and vice versa for trans men. By now there seems to be a reasonably solid evidence to suggest that this mental aspect of transsexuality exists. Researchers were able to identify female brain patterns in male to female transitioners. For anyone interested in finding out more about this, there is a link in the description. There's some debates about whether the mental aspect should be the only aspect considered when determining someone's transness. The new VPAF 8 standards lean in the direction of dysphoria not being required for someone to be classified as trans.
Why is the fucking audio so jittery, so garbage? I'm taking it back. The quality's gone worse.
I for one think that's a step in the right direction, but you could probably have guessed this. Contrast this to the DSM-5, where we can find the diagnosis gender identity disorder has been renamed to gender dysphoria.
Yo, guys, for real, are you surprised why this person chose Transmaxxing as the last result of saving their life? Are you surprised that this person couldn't get laid?
Dysphoria. While I find the change fitting insofar as that transsexualism is no longer regarded as a disorder, I could not help myself but notice the worrying implications of calling the, to my knowledge, only diagnosis for which gender transition is considered adequate treatment, gender dysphoria. The new name makes it clear, gender dysphoria is not only a requirement to be trans, but the only factor that should be considered when assessing someone's transness. It means that according to the DSM-5, no matter for what other reason a person might wish to undergo gender transition, it's not the right course of action to take unless they have gender dysphoria. Meanwhile, ICD-10 holds on to a diagnosis called transsexualism that, while not explicitly saying so, in essence also requires the person being diagnosed to have gender dysphoria in
Yo, they're reading so hard right now.
order for the diagnosis to be given. Now that is what
That's an even like close up. He doubled down on the close up.
got me thinking. If there are two different names for the same diagnosis that requires an individual to have gender dysphoria to be trans, and one of the names clearly states that gender dysphoria is the equivalent to transness, while the other one does not, then the question arises, what other aspects does the name transsexualism imply should be considered? One of the aspects that many
Yo, the philosophies behind this, like, it just goes crazy. Like how you have one ideology and then they change the definition of it. So then they change the definition of it. So there's another category of people who don't. Hey, do you know what this reminds me of? It's like a fucking Bitcoin. Someone taking the source code of Bitcoin, changing it and making their own blockchain. That's what it's like now. There's literally everyone taking the transgender, then they're changing the definition of it, applying it elsewhere, so that another group of people can identify better with that. Holy fuck.
to this they consider, even though according to ICD-10 and VPAF they should not, is the aspect Transmaxxing exclusively happens to base a person's gender on presentation and appearance. Many trans people regard this as negative. They argue that transness is a feeling that one can feel regardless of how they present themselves. I agree with that actually. You can be trans purely by feeling, but then I ask myself the question, if someone can be trans...
You can be trans purely by feeling you're trans?
purely based upon a feeling of gender dysphoria? Can someone also be trans purely based upon
You can feel gender dysphoria?
presentation? The ICD answer is clearly no, while the transmaxing answer is clearly yes. I would like to approach this diplomatically here. What I want to ask is why do people debate over whether presentation should be considered to determine someone's trans? That many psychologists
Gender dysphoria is a term that describes a sense of unease that a person might have because of a mismatch between their biological sex and the gender identity. What is gender identity? Why is that like a thing? Do we have to identify with a gender? Can't we just not be the gender?
to this day consider, even though
Please,
according to
someone
ICD-10
explain.
and VPAF they should not, is the aspect transmaxing exclusively happens to base a person's gender on presentation and appearance. Many trans people regard this as negative. They argue that transness is a feeling that one can feel regardless of how they present themselves. I agree with that actually. You can be trans purely by feeling, but then I ask myself the question, if someone can be trans purely based upon a feeling of gender dysphoria, can someone also be trans purely based upon presentation? The ICD.
So one, you can be trans by feeling trans, by having the gender dysphoria, and two, you can be trans by your physical appearance.
The answer is clearly no, while the transmaxing answer is clearly yes. I would like to approach this diplomatically here. What I want to ask is why do people debate over whether presentation should be considered to determine someone's transness in addition to gender dysphoria, or if it's just gender dysphoria that should be considered. Why does it have to be either gender dysphoria or gender dysphoria with a presentation element present? Why cannot either one of them be enough?
Isn't the idea of gender dysphoria in itself what's confusing this society? Like, if that didn't exist, if we didn't talk about it, there wouldn't be people who believe in it. Therefore, people would just move on with their lives with how they are. Yet they choose to make it their personal problem, like their personality. I was watching this video yesterday. This blue-haired girl, she was like, oh, sorry, actually, she didn't identify as a woman. She was kicking off at her mother because her mother was like tried to kick her out essentially, like a month. Their mum's given her like a month to move out, right? Because of this person trying to educate the mum on their identity and why this obviously clearly is an issue and why there's people like that basically trying to educate her own mother on the whole trans ideology and the whole LGBTQ ideology, and the mother wasn't having it, so she ended up kicking her out because like, this was like it was going on for so long. And she's given her like a notice of like a month, and it got to like a week, and she's like, "You've got to move out in a week because like I'm not dealing with your bullshit, right?" And this woman, this man, this person, they, them, I don't fucking know, recording this conversation with their mum, and clearly crying, like losing their mind, and like, "I'm trying to educate you. Oh, you can't kick me out."
As trans.
Like, it's such victim mentality, victim mindset.
What I'm basically saying is that both the modern medical approach of considering just someone's mental state.
Why do people want to be victims? Like, just, and I'll tell you what, some of these women, trans women who were women, original women 1.0, would have been beautiful if they didn't choose to go for these stupid haircuts just to show people how different they are to the society, to the societal norms. Like, you would have done well.
And the transmaxing approach of considering just someone's presentation should be valid to assess someone's transness. So in essence, a person who suffers from gender dysphoria should be treated the same way as a person who wishes to transition for the sole purpose of being able to present as a woman or a man for that matter. They both are trans for a different reason, but they are trans nonetheless. So there you have it. My answer to the question, are transmaxers trans, is absolutely yes.
a transmaxes trans, yes, because they feel like it, not because they want to look different.
Now you know
Got it.
why that is so. I hope I cleared up some confusion here and gave you all some food for
You have, in fact, confused me even more.
thought. And with that, I thank you for watching.
All right.
Hi guys.
No. Another thing. An incel's guide to transmaxing. That is not you. That is not you. What did you do? A transmaxer takes the BDSM. See, have you guys noticed how this whole community ideology is always about sexual stuff? Like sexual this whole sexual orientation, everything to do with sex has confused people to a point where they don't even think they are who they are. Like, why is sex such big part of people's lives? Why can't you just believe in God? God is watching you. Don't do anything you shouldn't be doing. Why is it like such an open thing for people to just, hey, I'm not saying go for it if you want to do it, right? But most of these motherfuckers need to spend more time focusing on themselves instead of focusing on trying to get laid. Like, I know these guys, they watch so much fucking porn. They don't even like, and they always tell me, it's like, yeah, I watched it like I've done it like 3 times today. Or I watch porn every day. Like, that is so toxic for your brain. Stop doing this. But most of your, like, I used to, I'm not gonna lie, I used to watch porn, but a few years ago, right? But ever since I stopped, I feel like my mind has shifted and I've cleared. Like, but there's never been any confusion in my life, but there definitely isn't now. And the more people have access to that, and I've come from somewhere that didn't have like access to internet early stages of my life. Early, I'm saying like up until like 17, 18. I have probably never even like watched a porno, and I was an adult then, right? So yeah, so maybe I've seen it like to like 2 or 3 years in my life, but I can see how toxic that was, yo. Anyway, what were we watching now? So a transmax is really trans. 4chan admin interviews a transmaxer. Don't want to watch that. Why should
Hi guys. Vintology and Transmaxxing is distancing itself more and more from its once primary target audience, the incels. This is in part due to incels being unpopular to...
Yeah, so it is another thing. Being a transmaxer, you've got to, you have to be an incel before you're transmaxer.
...associate with, and in part due to...
That's a big thing, right? I think so far we've gathered that transmaxers are incels who clearly couldn't get laid, wanted to enjoy the women's benefits of being a woman, and also get escape being an incel, meaning that they no longer not get laid. So they do, so by transmaxing, you do get laid now. As you mentioned, that saved you. So clearly you do get laid, which I, by the way, don't believe. I don't believe that whatsoever. And yet you still choose to find, because you haven't transitioned. They're not a trans person, so they want to appear as a woman, but still be with women.
Vintology seemingly having given up on incel transitions. Today I want to tell you why I believe that incels should remain the primary target audience of transmaxing. Put simply, incels got the most to gain and the least to lose. Incels can not only reduce their dependency upon women, they might even get the girlfriend that they have been longing for out of exploring the trans dating pool. It is undoubtedly easier to get a trans woman as a trans woman than as a man. That holds true for all female-presenting transmaxers, but the jump from a completely undesirable incel to at least a somewhat desirable trans woman is the furthest and thus the most...
Right, from completely undesirable incel to somewhat desirable trans. Got it.
beneficial. Those benefits are not dependent upon passing at all, and I'm sadly, at least for now, the best example of that really. If you do not get lucky enough to get a girlfriend out of your transmaxing journey, then fear not, however. Your sex drive will most likely be gone regardless, so it will be much easier to live without a partner. Of course, you can still gain all the other benefits all other types of transmaxers also get, like access to female-only spaces, benefiting from female employment quotas, female-only scholarship.
Shit. Access to female-only spaces, which what? What are the female-only spaces? Apart from female bathrooms, what are the female-only spaces? A woman-only space is a form of sex segregation and practices such as women-only public toilets, women-only passenger cars on public transport, or women's parking spaces. Is there such a thing as women's parking spaces? Like, can you only park somewhere if you're a woman? Women only passenger cars or public transport. Which, by the way, I do low-key agree with that. Let me just get into that a little bit, because I understand the struggle that women actually. Well, I don't personally relate, but I do understand as I grew up with 2 women in my life. And you know, personally, as a man, I would, or maybe as a woman, maybe I am a woman, in fact, with the mentality that I have, I understand why it's very important to keep women safe, and that women don't feel safe in many situations in life. One of them being public transport, taxis, Ubers. There was a lot of cases, even in the little town where I live. People have spoken about it, like SA, for example. That's a big thing, right? So I understand why there would be women-only public transports.
Now most people at least.
And obviously bathrooms, but by definition, by putting men who now choose to identify. Now, by the way, these transmaxes, they are not women. They don't transition to women. They just feel like a woman. So by definition, they're also a part of the trans community to be a woman without having to transition to being one. And they still choose to have sexual intercourse with women, or they want to at least. I don't think any women choose to have sexual intercourse with them. But yeah, so you want to benefit. That sounds very creepy, in my opinion.
At least publicly seem towards seeing trans women as women. We can thank the LGBTQ+ community for that. While I do not advocate for doing so, as it could result in self-sabotage, I must point out that if you dislike women or the LGBTQ+ community, then it's most certainly easier to damage their cause from within as a trans woman than as a cis man. Another practice that I do not advocate for at all, but transmaxing enables nonetheless, is the exploitation of men for resources. I must reluctantly admit that it sounds like a good way to get back at checks.
Exploitation.
As we all know,
checks. Exploitation meant for resources. I mean, men are designed to gather resources anyway. Us guys were always working. That's why we work so much, right? Most guys work overtime, a lot of overtime hours to generate excess resources, which we do end up sharing with the women that we love. So you, as a guy, transition to a woman because you want to actually you want to have access to the benefits of, well, basically exploit the men for their resources instead of actually being the man and
every chat turns into a simp given the right circumstances.
Got it.
Passing is, however, an absolute requirement to pull that off. Unless, of course, you are targeting chasers, that is. I don't know about you, but that's already quite a list of benefits for me. So let's move on to the potential cost. It really all comes down to passing or not passing, and there is no middle ground between the two. As I outlined, even non-passing trans women can enjoy some benefits men at least today don't get. But not passing also comes with a couple disadvantages. People will likely treat you as a freak. People will distance themselves from you because you're just that extra bit more strange now. People will perceive you as neurodivergent. Many even still regard transness itself as a disease. Believe it or not, there are actually positives for trans people from viewing transness as a disease, but more on that in another video. Here I want to focus on the big negative of it all, and that's plain and simply that some people will assume you're mentally ill. It's a substantial negative because people have a strong tendency to simply disregard the thoughts, ideas, and at worst all utterings of meaning of mentally ill people. My advice therefore generally is to never admit to having a mental illness, even if you have one. But if you are interacting with people who see transness itself as a mental illness.
I'm going to make a documentary in which I will deeply dive into the topic of mental illnesses. And it will be for the whole purpose to understand whether this is mental illness or not. Because I believe that you could class this as a mental illness.
Then you cannot really deny having that. At least not when presenting female. All those disadvantages, however, have one thing in common. If we take a look at how people treat incels, then we can observe that many of the social problems incels face are the same social problems non-passing trans women face. They are also regarded as freaks. In some regards, inceldom is just as much seen as a disease as transness is, really. The difference is just that for inceldom, people recommend self-improvement as the treatment, whereas for non-passing trans women, they recommend either conversion therapy or makeup courses, depending upon who you ask, that is. Some of the self-improvement methods offered to incels are, by the way, borderline conversion therapy in themselves. The innocent suggestion of improving one's personality begs the question, how is that supposed to be accomplished? How much can someone change their personality while still being themselves? I'm not going to answer that question here, but please just think about that when, or ideally before, you suggest incels improve their personality. The benefits of...
That would have been my first suggestion. Why don't you just try to improve your personality? So, true selves, maybe they can do this, but should they really? I think the issue is categorized, and most men are really draw cell, near cell, or fake cell. There's a lot of cells out there. What the fuck? I've seen a lot of your videos. You have interesting logic, and you do have a good approach that criticizes a lot of how we look at gender and sexuality and all of that. However, in practice, I don't think there should be an advocate. Yeah, don't say. I think you got to be careful with how you qualify groups such as incel, as well as qualifying how bad they have it versus how good they would have it transmaxing. It's like, basically, it's like the ideology of if you're struggling as a man in sports, right? You just transition to a woman, you just say you're a woman, and you get into the sport again, and then you just beat everyone. It's basically cheat code. Very interesting topic, although I haven't understand completely yet, because this person is not really great at this. I don't know. Maybe I'm not understanding either, but I don't know. Please stop taking part at voice training. It would save a lot of money, and I would really love your voice and accent. Everyone will acknowledge that you're German, but it's really sympathetic. Best regards. Someone's really actually signed a YouTube comment. That's a bunch of German. I really think you would be a great advocate for legalizing castration. I think you should fight for that right. Why are you allowed to go the extra step with gender reassignment surgery, but simple castration is off the table? Doesn't make much sense. I think you are going to be a very important person. Thank you for your kind words. So this is, they're talking about castration. Thank you for your kind words. What makes even less sense is that castration is actually an allowed and medically approved procedure for trans women. I would have gone for that already if not a particular bad experience with general anesthesia. I am currently exploring my options, and as soon as it is clear. So basically, in case this goes tits up, you don't want to regret cutting your dick off. Alright. Pretty sure you told me in the past that it wasn't an option because it wasn't medically approved in Germany. If it is, you should go really ahead with it. Is this a joke? Hello, Tina. I'm a trans non-binary person. I'm a trans non-binary person. So if you're trans because you transition from one gender to another, but you're non-binary, meaning that your gender doesn't stick with you, then what the fuck? And like you probably expect, I feel that this ideology is dangerous and misguided. I firmly stand against the incel ideology. I firmly stand against the incel ideology. How do you stand against an ideology? Like, how do you even call this? First of all, let's break this sentence down. I firmly stand against the incel ideology. So incels are involuntarily celibate guys who basically don't get laid, right? Guys who don't get laid, not by choice, just because they're not desirable by women. How can you call this an ideology? It's not an ideology. These people don't fucking choose to not get laid. They just don't get laid because nobody wants to fuck them. And you firmly stand against guys. You firmly stand against nobody wanting to fuck them. Hold on, bruh. I think that it is both. I think that it is both very dangerous and harmful to the marginalized groups that many incels blame for their struggles, as well as being very toxic and self-destructive to those who participate in an incel spaces. Well, for sure, it is self-destructive. Like, look at what you're doing. You're transmaxing. You're destroying your entire personality because you can't get laid. That being said, I am not interested in debating about that here. Yet you go on to write in another huge paragraph. While I disagree with the perspective you are speaking from, it is still extremely clear that you are a very compassionate and kind person. It speaks volumes about you as a person that despite hardship you have faced, and even the ridicule that you have faced from other within incel communities, like some of the transphobic incels in your interviews, that you are still concerned with other people's well-being. It is truly an amazing show of humanity. And while I do not know if this sentiment will mean anything to you coming from me, for what it is worth, I just wanted to communicate that you deserve to be treated with all the kindness and compassion that you use to guide your perspective and more. Even if I disagree with those perspectives, you have a beautiful smile, and I hope you hope you will be able to find yourself in the future where you get to smile more. They didn't even reply. Pathetic. Transmaxers should date incels. Hey yo, let's see. That is the thing. If two incels transmaxing it to an attractive level, then they will come attracted towards each other and then date each other. That is kind of the ideal outcome. That's not how sexual orientation works. Unless you're already gay, or at least bisexual. Trans women are women in my book. In your book, not in the actual book. Just stop, dude. Hey! Don't discourage incels from dating trans. It would solve so many issues. Imagine if Roger Elliott had a femboy or trans woman to give him the sexual attention he needed. For real, like if you just had someone to fuck you. Hold on, where's the black pill in there? How to be an incel. This isn't a question of discouragement, it's facts, not really. Neuroplasticity can work wonders. Another solution is an AI android wives, but not everyone can afford at the moment. See, all this comes from sexual desperation and sexual frustration. Like, some people just, I don't know, like, at some point, when you have so much sex in your life, it just doesn't bother you. It's like, how can you, I don't know, maybe these guys have just never gotten laid. Maybe they've never had box in their entire life. That's because, like, I can easily go weeks without it. To me, it's like not a problem. But then again, it's like I've had experience, like I had so many sexual experiences that probably it just doesn't make a difference to me. Another person, another time I get laid. Ooh. Yo, holy fuck.
Transmaxxing can be plenty, while the hardships are essentially the hardships you as an incel already face, just that you got tits now. In all this, there are 2 key points to remember. The first is that if the hardships become too much to bear, you can always start presenting male again. Your titties are likely not gonna get so big that you can't hide them anymore. Unless you use methods a newfound acquaintance of mine is working on currently, but that's gonna be the topic of another video. For now, just rest assured that all the marks of being a trans woman can be easily hidden or even reversed. So, there you have it guys and future trans girls. I hope
Someone said they have a beautiful smile.
you enjoyed this brief summary of all the reasons why incels are the ideal target audience for transmaxing. Oh, and one more thing. If you now find yourself on the fence about making the choice to transmax, but you fear not having the right traits to be passable, then fear no longer. There will be a detailed video going over what physical and mental aspects might improve or decrease your passing ability when choosing to transition on this channel very soon. And with that...
Holy fuck. Holy fuck. Let's see what Joe Rogan has to say about incels, by the way. Because, let's see an educated person. I don't want to answer your questions, YouTube. Get fucked.
The QAnon thing?
No, the guy who blew up, or the guy who ran over those people. That is, what is the new word? Ansel? What is the word?
Incel. It's involuntary celibate.
Yeah. So these people are killing people because now Bourdain was
killing people. Like these dudes out there genuinely kill people.
Tweeting that there's like some sort of a Reddit forum with all these folks, and there's like 40,000 members.
Oh, totally. Well, the guy who shot a bunch of women in Santa Barbara a couple of years ago, he was also like,
he shot a bunch of women because they wouldn't have sex with him.
I'm so attractive. Why don't you guys want to have sex with me? It's like, look, it doesn't matter what you look like. There's healthy, loving relationships that exist for everyone.
Yeah, he was a little cutie.
Yeah.
The little murderer. He was a little cutie.
So it's just
like,
crazy
just
to me when people
friends.
blame women and are violent misogynists because they are, you know, they think that they're unattractive, and they're basically just blame like attractive women for not having sex with them. It's really disturbing. And this guy apparently mowed down a bunch of people in Toronto because he was one of these people.
Incels creating rules, and honestly, the sick.
Facebook has confirmed the authenticity of the Toronto killer. Okay, news outlet looking for former incels. This is too far. Incels creating rules, and honestly, this sickens me.
What?
So this is the
the
whole
Reddit
post.
Oh God, don't go down this rabbit hole.
70,000.
70,000 now.
Incel tears. 70k now. Okay. Reddit.com/incel tears. Is that a thing? Reddit incel tears. Incel tier. That's what it is. How many people joined this? How do I see it, guys? Help me out. Get fucked. Leaked my shit. 129,000 members. Post your standards for girlfriend. Mine, 16 to 19 years old, virgin, has to never seen a penis. Their celibacy is not involuntary when the standards are so ridiculous. I disagree with the standards. Well, hold on. Let's see this though. Bruh. I'm not logging into this shit. 170 to 175 tall, small, medium boobs, pink nipples, wide hips, feminine fat distributions, very little muscle mass. Isn't that just like a regular woman? Either strawberry blonde with blue eyes or light brown hair with green eyes. Wavy hair, ideally. Takes care of her body but doesn't mind eating more during special occasions and gaining a few pounds. How is this unrealistic, by the way? Standards are so ridiculous. How? So just because someone just looks after how they eat, is that like a ridiculous thing to ask for? 16 to 19 years old. So this is like this. Okay, this person, right? Clearly that comes from another. Is that a 4chan? I think it might be low IQ cells. Holy shit. 16 to 19 years old. Virgin has never seen a penis. I think this comment here is what people like usually get mad about. But people get mad at the fact that guys just want girls who haven't had much sexual experience. Like, oh no, sorry, like, let me just accept the fact that women are hoes. Nah, fuck that shit. If you want to be so irresponsible with your sexuality and your experiences, you go for it. I ain't dating someone who has an STD or a child. I don't give a fuck. There are different preferences because there aren't. No woman prefers a 4-inch dick. In the same way, no woman prefers for a man to be 5'2". At best, there are a minority of women that will tolerate it. Okay. If boys weren't so hypergamous and allowed themselves to be taken by average and low status men, and subculture of angry men would have never developed to misogynistic terrorism. Still have to log in. Let's see. What else is there? Anyone need to vent? Hello, I'm someone who believes rape is a natural byproduct. What the fuck? What the fuck? I feel awful that any man feels awkward, horrified, belittled, etc. to a largely neutral and normal experience. Normal? Holy fuck. No, that is disgusting. Like, you can't be saying that. Jesus Christ. I don't know if this is a joke. I'm happy the sub was created to allow men to express desires with no judgment from those of us who understand. My DMs are open if anyone would like to chat. What are you going to chat about? Come over, not to be lame, but Netflix and chill. I have a boyfriend. Why were you being so nice then? Yeah, guys think that a girl will be nice to them and she wants to get laid with him. Like, I know this guy, right? He works in this place, and this girl that works with him, she's just nice to him because obviously they're colleagues, right? And he just thinks that she wants to fuck him, but he just doesn't understand the fact that she really dislikes him. Supremacy isn't inevitable. Long live Hitler. Long live Stalin. Long live Putin. Yeah, for real. Why do I have to be 18 to view this? Oh boy. Do I really need to caption this? Yes. Incel insult his cousin to her younger brother is surprised when he doesn't go his way. I have a 14-year-old Chad cousin and we recently had a fight on social media. I'm gonna keep it short. He has a 20-year-old sister who has treated me like trash for a long time now. When I found out that she went on a fun activity together with her other cousins but didn't invite me, I told my 14-year-old cousin that his sister is a bit. And yes, she really is. Only cares about herself and treats me like trash. He immediately got aggressive and said, "Who the fuck are you calling an idiot?" As he probably should. I was baffled at the way he was talking to me. He had no manners at all. He had no manners, alright. Even though I'm nearly 10 years older than him. He was talking down on me. He continued saying, "Don't fucking call my sister an idiot." Got it? Know that. So you're 24 and you're upset over a 20-year-old woman, your 20-year-old cousin, and you vent to your 14-year-old cousin. All right. That sounds like a mature thing to do. He continued saying, "Don't fucking call my sister an idiot." Got it? Note that there were voice messages and he sounded extremely angry. He was literally... You sound like a beta bitch, by the way. Literally talking like an angry thug. Almost like he was threatening me. He probably was. He had no respect for me at all. And then when I told him that cousins can call each other whatever they want without getting offended. But he deleted me before reading. Motherfucker, he was straight up acting like a thug. Next time I see him, I'm going to fucking choke his ass out. Really? Dude, what the fuck? Yo. You're an idiot. You took the L here. His parents are stupid and haven't raised him properly. Yeah, because you know how to raise... Little upset idiot. I think we all agree that femboys aren't straight, and it is in LGBTQ. I'm straight and I like 100% females. No femboys is a female, and no tomboy is a boy. There's two genders, and there's no mix between both two genders. Someone finally spoke facts. Hey, yo, guys, we're going to get into, on another stream, we're going to get into the whole Mizzy thing. I wanted to speak about Mizzy, the guy who were, like, doing pranks or whatever. He's just being stupid, so just going to do a reaction to that. I wanted to go over this. I wanted to see if the stream would work, actually, today, since he didn't yesterday. But, yo, guys, what a stream it was. Holy shit. Yo, I guess incels are just people too, and if you can't get laid, you should transition to a woman to get the benefits. That's what they said. Anyway, I'm gonna tag this person in the videos, that Yamato, whoever the fuck that is. See if if we can trigger them a little bit. But yeah, guys, hey, shout out to everyone watching. Like and subscribe the video. Like the video on Rumble, YouTube, whatever you're fucking watching. And shout out to you all. And yo, also I appreciate all the comments, guys. Y'all, whoever recently commented that I should do a collab with Hamza. Thanks for your sub as well. Appreciate you, bro. And yeah, have a good one.